What is up with y'all boys? In this video, I'm gonna be showing y'all exactly how to resell Cologne in 2025. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because Cologne is one of the best selling products and literally anybody can make thousands of dollars a month from it. And the methods that I share with you in this video are gonna be the exact methods I use to print over $700 a day with Cologne. How you can literally do the same thing with no experience starting with less than $100. So if you guys are actually interested in learning how to do that, make sure you stay until the end of this video so you guys get all the knowledge and information you need to actually start reselling colognes. And I'm literally gonna give you a step-by-step breakdown that is actionable and you can actually do and follow. So make sure you stay until the end if you want to make some bread. With that being said, I'm not going to waste any more of you guys' time. Let's get straight into the video and learn how to make some money. Now, the first question we need to answer is, why should you actually resell cologne? Why not AirPods or designer tees or any other trending reselling product? Now, not to say that any of those products are bad, because they definitely aren't, and I sell them myself. However, if you're a beginner, cologne is by far the best product to actually start with, because there's so much of a variety of colognes you can sell, and because it's in demand by literally every single person on the planet. Everyone buys cologne. Everyone wants to smell good. So why would you not try and sell it? Now, I actually started my reselling business with literally only $100 and literally 4 colognes. I was able to scale that to over 10K a month in just less than 6 months. So if you guys actually want to do the same thing, let's figure out what colognes you should actually sell. Now, there are a lot of different options when it comes to cologne. You can sell things like Baccarat, Dior, YSL, all the basic fragrances, or you can go a little bit more niche and sell things like Xerjoff, like Gucci, and other untapped fragrances that a lot of people aren't selling. What is actually the best way to find out what cologne to resell? Well, you have to do something called market research. This is basically where you just take a look at what products are selling in your area and figure out what you need to sell based on the market. So in order to do this, what you're going to do is go to Facebook Marketplace and you're going to simply type in cologne. Now, I'm going to leave a list of my best sellers in the description. So if you guys actually search up cologne and set it to a 50-mile radius and you don't really see that much of the best sellers that I left for you guys, what I would do is definitely hop on that product because it's unsaturated and I personally know and have experience that it will sell. Now, what sells in my area might not sell good for you simply because of factors like the weather, the culture, the demand. So you do have to think about that. For example, like some California, like tropical cologne might not sell good in somewhere like New York City. So you really just do have to use kind of your critical thinking skills to figure out what colognes may or may not sell with market research. And when you combine those two things, it should give you a pretty good idea of what colognes you should actually be selling. Now for the next question, where the are we going to get these colognes from? Well, I literally spent hours of research and hundreds of dollars trying to find the best cologne vendor when I first started. And once I actually did that, I literally have been sticking with this vendor for the last 6 months. So if you guys actually want my personal cologne vendor, what you can do is go to this website, bksupply.store, and get the cologne vendor for only $8.99. Or you can get access to something like the all supplier bundle, which is basically every single product like colognes, AirPods, designer tees, hoodies, shades, accessories, everything you could possibly need. And that cologne bundle will be included with all those other products. Now, those are the personal vendors that I've used for the past 6 months to scale my reselling business from 0 to 10K. So I would definitely say that they're trusted and they're even USA based, meaning that you're going to get your product in only 2 to 5 business days. So how do we actually list these colognes? Well, there is actually a very secret listing method that I personally used on Facebook to make over $700 a day when I first started reselling. And towards the end of this video, I'll be revealing exactly what that is, but I'm going to go over how to sell on every single platform, and then I'm going to give you guys the real sauce at the end. So let's say that you guys want to sell cologne on Facebook in the conventional way. Once you actually found what product you're going to sell, all you have to do is take high quality pictures of the cologne like this, and any other features on the cologne, but I would recommend that you actually do leave it sealed, simply because if somebody's getting this cologne as a gift or they're getting it for somebody and they don't want it to be open, I wouldn't open it. Once you actually have high quality pictures, what I would use for the title is something very simple, literally just the title of the cologne and the bottle size. So for example, if I want to sell this Baccarat Rouge 540, I would literally put it as Baccarat Rouge 540 2.4 ounces or 70 milliliters. That's the title. It's super simple. It's going to catch people's attention and they know exactly what product they're actually shopping for. Now, when it comes to the description, there are a couple more things that you want to include. You want to include the condition of it, so it should be brand new, sealed. You want to include what your price is, and then if you're taking any offers, what your negotiation looks like. If you're doing trades, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can if you want to. Once you have that, you're going to detail what location you're actually in and where somebody should meet you or can pick up, or if you can drive to them. Basically just transportation and a meetup plan. So what I personally do is I list my cologne in a town 30 minutes away from me that is actually way bigger than the town I live in. This way I can get a bunch of people from that town to actually go ahead and shop for my colognes. A lot of people in my town are going to also see that listing, so it's kind of just a no-brainer. What I basically say is I say, hey, I'm not actually from this town, but I will drive there it's like a 30-minute drive. That's literally all I'll say. That's really all you need for the description, just the condition, the price, the meetup plan. You should be good. Now, when it comes to how to actually price your products, what you want to do is you want to look at whoever else is selling products in your area. Whoever else is selling a Baccarat, whoever else is selling a Creed, whatever cologne you're selling, and you want to look at what their prices are. Now, you specifically want to look at the people with good listing photos and good titles, because those are the only people that are going to get sales. Somebody can list a shitty cologne for $50 with a shitty listing and they're not going to make sales. So look at the high quality listings and see what those kind of products are being priced for, and just price yours for like $10, maybe $20 lower. If you're only getting these colognes for $30 from a supplier, you can literally sell it for $50 and make a decent amount of profit. Now, what you want to do, once you actually have the price, the description, the title, basically the listing finished, you want to join a bunch of Facebook groups in your area, buy, sell, and trade groups, cologne groups, whatever product you're trying to sell, join a bunch of those groups. What you're going to do is simply list your products on those groups, just share the listing, and that'll just help boost out your post and get a bunch of buyers right away, and also just help the algorithm kind of get your listing going. Now, once you do that, you can actually do something else, which is something called a boost listing feature, which is basically where you run ads on your listing. You pay $1 or $2 or $3 a day, and you basically get a bunch of people to actually slide up on your listing, and that's a super good strategy if you have the money for it to actually get these products going fast. It's a quick tutorial on how to actually resell on Facebook. Let's talk about what to do on places like eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, all these other online platforms. When it comes to places like eBay, Depop, etc., it is a little bit more of a complicated process because these platforms are super strict on one-on-one products and getting your listings taken down. I don't want you to actually get banned from the website, so if you don't want to get banned, then follow this checklist. Basically, what you want to do is if you have a brand new seller account on eBay or Depop or any of these platforms, what you want to do is sell a bunch of household items, a bunch of like vintage old clothes, fucking TVs, whatever it is. Sell a bunch of actual items in your house. What this is basically going to do is get eBay to warm up your account, or whatever platform you're on, to warm up your account and trust you as a seller, because selling one-to-one products, once you have a couple sales and you're actually selling household items, looks much more legit than if you just hop on the platform and sell a bunch of reselling products. Even if you don't list your products as one-to-one, they still can get taken down because they know that a lot of these products are kind of, they're being sold a lot as one-to-ones, and they want to prevent that from happening, so a lot of listings will just automatically take down, even if you're selling real shit, which is low-key crazy. Now, once you actually have that done, when you're on places like eBay, what you want to do is you want to use stock photos. Now, just simply follow the same checklist basically as on Facebook. Keep the description super light. Boost listings on eBay and Depop, especially on Depop, and also price your product for a little bit lower than all your competitors with good listings. Now, I would definitely say that if you can, and if you're a trusted seller on eBay, you have a decent account, I would definitely double down on eBay. Personally, from what I've experienced, eBay allows you to sell your cologne for the highest price possible. Even when you do auctions and bidding and all type of shit, there's a huge demand for colognes on eBay, and you can make a lot of bread if you actually set up your account right and don't fuck shit up like I did. Now, the next method for reselling cologne in 2025 is going to be something called the social media method. This is by far my favorite, and contrary to what a lot of people think, you don't need a lot of followers to actually do this. You can literally just use your personal Snapchat and Instagram account that you have your friends on, and it'll work perfectly fine. Now, basically what you want to do is literally the same exact model as Facebook, all these different places. Literally just list your colognes on your story, take a decent high quality picture of them, maybe a couple, put it up for a decent price, and if you want to figure out basically how to sell your products on social media and what you should price them at, just look at other resellers in your area and kind of see what they're pricing their products for. Add a bunch of them on Snapchat, kind of pocket watch them a little bit, and don't feel bad, because that's exactly what I do. And then once you actually go ahead and do that, you can actually know how to price your product. Now, you don't need to add a bunch of people on quick ad for this to work. You don't need to get a bunch of randoms on your page. What you can actually do is get your friends to post them for you. If you actually have good friends, they would do this without really expecting anything back. Basically just post a story like this where it's like your inventory, and say tap in with whatever your at is, and then say, oh, he's got the best prices, the best quality, etc. Basically get your friends to act like they bought from you. And like I said, if your friends are genuinely your friends, they should want to support your business and just basically do this without you having to ask. But if they don't, and they genuinely want like some money out of it, just give them like $5 if they get you a sale, or give them like $5 off a hoodie or like some bullshit like that. But most people would do it for free. Now, what this is going to do is basically just allow yourself to gain a whole new audience than you would be able to before. Because now your friends' friends are actually seeing the story instead of just your friends, and you're literally reaching 10 to 20 times more people if you can get like 5 or 10 of your friends to do this. It should not actually be hard. Now, if you want to take it to another level, you can start making content, you can start making meetup videos, but that is a super complicated process that I really will not get into on YouTube, and I would definitely get into on my Discord that is coming soon. So if you guys want to learn how to actually do social media reselling, how I got to 10K a month the real way, you guys can actually go ahead and just wait for my Discord to join. Now that we learned about social media, I'm going to expose to you guys my secret $700 per day cologne reselling method. This is literally what I used to get started. I would order like 50 pieces of cologne, and I would literally have them sold out in like 2 days just off Facebook. And what you're going to do is something called a cologne collection listing. I don't tell too many people about this because it will get saturated, but if only you do it, it, you should be good. Basically, what you're gonna do is get a bunch of niche fragrances, a bunch of designer fragrances. I literally had like Baccarat, Louis Vuitton. I had like Parfums de Marly. I had Valentino. I had Dior. I had YSL. I've had a bunch of like Chanel and Dior and women's perfumes and all different type of shit. Just like a bunch of colognes, literally just like an assortment. And what you're gonna do is put the pricing at $1 and you're gonna put in your title or your description, best offer. When you actually price your product for $1 on Facebook, the lowest price always gets put up kind of at the top of the search results. So whenever somebody types in cologne, they're gonna see your listing as one of the first, if not the first, if you actually boost your listings, post in groups, and do the other things I've told you about. And in your description, you're basically going to tell them, okay, what colognes do you have? What is the inventory? How much is it for one? How much is it for two? Like, offer bulk deals. Like I said before, you're only getting these for $30, so do not be stingy with your money. Rick Ross has always said it's better to make some money than no money. So even if you're not taking as much profit as you could be, you can be using that money to get it now and then invest it into more products, which you will take profit in the long run. Now, for some reason, this method is literally so simple and there's not even that much to it. Like, that is literally the entire method, but nobody does this, and it literally fucking prints money because like all these Indian people and like, I don't even know who, bro, a bunch of Indians, a bunch of Mexicans, they just love getting a bunch of cologne and just stocking up for who fucking knows what. But it works, and it literally is printing me $700 a day, so take my word for it. You need to actually try it. So now that we got the listings out of the way, the last thing that I actually want to touch on is basically how to scale your business. So what I mean by scaling your business is moving more products, moving more inventory, but without being a complete slave to your reselling business and having to drive across the map and do meetups and do a bunch of orders and all this shit. Now, what you're actually going to want to do is when you actually sell out of your first batch of colognes, whether you get 1, whether you get 5, whether you get 10, reinvest all of your profits. For your first couple orders, reinvest all your profits back into more products. What this is going to do is it's going to make customers a lot more likely to buy from you because you're always going to have products on hand. You can get your business going, you can get word of mouth, and you're just building a good reputation for yourself. Now, at the beginning, you might not get a lot of sales, so you can order smaller bulk orders. So you want to make sure that you always have products on hand so you can actually sell to people. And then once you start actually making more profits, reinvest that money back into your business. Also, you can start working with people and kind of putting them onto reselling by supplying them in bulks for very low prices if you know that's their intention. You can do that on social media as well. That's a great way to scale. There's honestly so many possibilities, but all you need to do is make sure you're reinvesting your profits. Now, that's exactly how to resell cologne in 2025 and literally make over $10,000 a month. This is literally one of the easiest side hustles any teenagers can do, so I don't know why you're not hopping on it. But if you guys want access to my personal suppliers, I used to make over $10,000 a month. Just go to the link in my bio or visit bksupply.store. You need access to all my personal vendors and USA-based physical products, as well as any reselling tools or guides you might need. And if you guys have any questions about reselling or you want to learn more in depth on how you can do it yourself, just shoot me a DM on Instagram at bk.supply and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. That being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in to this video. Hope you guys learned something and actually take actionable steps on this. You can do it for yourself, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.